Here's the part nobody tells you. Middle-class people think renting after 50 means you failed. Millionaires know renting after 50 is how you win. Because at that age, the game stops being about ownership and starts being about time, risk, and the psychology of freedom. Miss this, and you'll waste your last 30 years stuck in the wrong financial mindset. Let's break it down. Stickman, grab your stress ball. Today, we're unlearning a lifetime of money conditioning. And the first reason will probably make you angry, because it exposes a trap most adults walk into without realizing. Secret 1. Renting buys back the one thing you can't replace: time. Here's the conflict. After 50, your most valuable asset isn't equity, it's time. Most people don't get this. They're terrified of not owning a house, so they lock themselves into maintenance, repairs, upgrades, then lose the one thing millionaires protect aggressively: their remaining decades. The consequence? A house that owns you. 3 months waiting for repairs, 10 to 20 hours a month managing problems, and tens of thousands sunk into a roof, plumbing, and flooring. All for a future payoff they might not even live long enough to enjoy. Millionaires choose the learning. Renting equals buying time. Time equals optionality. Optionality equals power. Stickman hands the landlord his keys, walks away sipping coffee, and says, "Fix it yourself, king." But that's not even the biggest psychological shift, because the next point reveals why owners are usually more stressed than renters. Secret 2. Renting removes silent stress debt. There's financial debt, and then there's stress debt. Homeowners over 50 carry both. A home becomes a constant background worry. What will break next? What if the market dips? How much will the upgrade cost? This mental load quietly destroys long-term well-being. Millionaires avoid it completely. They pay for emotional freedom, the ability to sleep at night knowing nothing can suddenly cost them $15,000. Conflict to consequence to learning. Conflict. Homeownership equals unpredictable stress load. Consequence. Reduced cognitive bandwidth, worse decisions. Learning. Renting equals emotional risk management. Remember secret number 1? Time was wealth. In secret number 2, we add the second pillar: emotional energy. Renting protects both. Quick question before we continue. Do you feel more stressed by renting or by owning? Comment rent or own. We're featuring answers in the next upload. Because the next secret is where millionaires pull away from the pack entirely. Secret 3. Millionaires optimize liquidity, not pride. Owning a home feels good. It satisfies pride, security, identity. But after 50, millionaires care less about pride and more about liquidity. Liquidity is the ability to move fast, to relocate, to seize opportunities, to protect your downside. Home ownership locks your wealth inside 4 walls. Renting keeps it liquid, flexible, and deployable. Here's an example. One millionaire we studied sold his home at 57 to rent a luxury apartment. Why? He wanted the ability to move countries, start a business, shift his lifestyle, travel long-term. Liquidity gave him freedom. A house would have given him anchors. But here comes the cliffhanger, because what they do next with that liquidity is the real game changer. If you're trying to grow from paycheck to wealth, watch How to Become a Millionaire on a 9-5 salary after this. It connects perfectly with what we're about to reveal. Secret 4. Renting lets them put money into assets that actually produce wealth. Here's the conflict. A house gives you stability, but it rarely gives you cash flow. Millionaires don't want their money sitting still. They want it invested, compounding, generating passive income, and buying more time. Renting frees capital. Capital buys assets. Assets buy freedom. And if you want ideas for income streams that actually scale beyond your job, open 7 side hustle ideas for passive income in 2026. Watch it next. Number 5 is the one Stickman swears by. Time plus emotional energy plus liquidity equals the millionaire trifecta. Renting is the gateway that unlocks all 3. If you had an extra $200,000 today, would you rather A, buy a house, B. Invest in cash flow assets. Drop A or B. We're pulling the smartest comment into Stickman's next rant. But the next point exposes the mindset that really separates rich 50-year-olds from everyone else. Secret 5. Millionaires don't tie identity to real estate. This is the psychological secret schools never teach. Most people tie self-worth to ownership. If they don't own, they feel behind. Millionaires don't think like this. Their identity comes from freedom, competence, optionality, and control over their time. Ownership is a tool, not a personality trait. That's why they can rent without feeling less than. Meanwhile, society pressures everyone else to see renting as failure, causing people to make terrible financial decisions to avoid embarrassment. This exact mindset mistake is the one Stickman used to make before he learned the next secret. And it's the one most people watching this are guilty of. Secret 6. Renting gives millionaires the power to pivot at any age. Here's the final psychological advantage. Life after 50 changes fast. Health shifts, family shifts, work shifts, priorities shift. Millionaires rent so they can pivot instantly, move cities, downsize, upsize, change climates, be closer to family, or chase passion projects. Owning at that age creates friction. Renting creates motion. Stickman packs one suitcase, books a flight, and says, because freedom is the real asset portfolio. Real talk. If you could live anywhere for the next 5 years, where would you go? Comment it. Your answer might end up in the next video. Millionaires over 50 choose renting not because they're careless with money, but because they understand a deeper wealth psychology. Freedom pays better than ownership. After 50, time becomes more valuable than equity. Flexibility beats stability, and liquidity protects you from late-life financial traps. Renting lets them move, adapt, invest, and preserve energy while avoiding the silent costs homeowners never calculate. It's not about the house. It's about preserving the one resource you can't rebuild: time. If understanding wealth psychology helped, go watch The Smartest Order to Invest Your Money. It shows the exact system millionaires use once they stop tying identity to real estate. Here's the truth. Millionaires over 50 don't rent because they're broke. They rent because they finally understand that wealth is measured in freedom, not square footage. They stop playing the ownership game society pushes and start optimizing for time, emotional energy, liquidity, and mobility. Every financial decision becomes a psychological one designed to protect their peace, accelerate opportunity, and remove friction from the last phase of their life. And once you see wealth through that lens, the entire concept of owning versus renting flips upside down. So tell me, do you think renting after 50 is smart or reckless? Drop your take below. The most honest comments get featured in our next upload. And if you're serious about building the kind of wealth that buys freedom, not stress, hit subscribe. This is Jet Set Finance, where we skip the myths, expose the psychology, and teach you how the wealthy actually think. And if you want a roadmap for your entire wealth journey, start with the 3 net worth milestones that change everything. It's the perfect follow-up to this video. Stickman out.